Hey everybody, my name is Jake Trent. I'm an instructor here at the Pathfinder School. And what we're going to talk about today is the basic equipment list that you're going to need to bring to the intermediate survival class. So let me move the camera in here a little bit closer and we'll go over everything that you're going to need to bring for this class. Okay, so starting to run down the equipment list that is on the website now. You're going to need to bring some sort of carbon steel knife. I recommend any of the PKS knives or a Mora Garberg. So some type of carbon steel knife that's full tang with a 90-degree spine on it, and then of course a sheath with it. The next thing you're going to need to bring is some type of folding saw. We recommend the Baco Laplander or a Silky saw. Those are really the two best saws on the market. Anything else is really inferior to those saws. So Baco Laplander or a Silky saw. This is what you're going to need for your cutting tools portion. Now along with that, you're going to need to bring a woodsman's wedgie. Okay, this is going to help you out during the class with splitting stuff. So just bring a woodsman's wedgie. Don't worry about putting a handle on it. Just bring the wedgie portion with no handle on it. The next thing you're going to need to bring is some sort of 8-inch folding skillet. Of course, we recommend the Pathfinder skillet. We took the bush pot off of the list because we're making some changes in the curriculum. Those changes involve using the skillet over a bush pot. So some sort of 8-inch folding skillet. You're also going to need to bring a stainless steel bottle and cup set. You can also bring the titanium bottle and cup set if you choose to. You can also bring any of the canteen sets sold on Self-Reliance Outfitters. Do not bring any plastic water bottles and do not bring any double-walled containers like a Yeti or a Hydro Flask, anything like that. Make sure it is a single-walled stainless steel bottle and nesting cup or a titanium bottle and nesting cup. Okay, so next up is cordage. You're going to need to bring 100 foot of number 12 bank line. Okay, this is going to help you out whenever you are lashing smaller projects together, things like that. It's a little bit thinner in diameter than the number 36 bank line. So 100 feet of number 12. This is an entire roll. Definitely don't need an entire roll. They sell it in the small 100-foot rolls. And then you're also going to need one large roll of number 36 bank line. I think this is called the 1-pound roll. You're going to need this entire roll of bank line. Do not bring 100 foot of this. Be sure it's an entire roll, because in this class it's very project based. You're going to be making a lot of stuff and you're going to need that extra bank line for this class. You're also going to need 30 foot of paracord. I just tell people bring their 30-foot ridge line. So if you're going to need 30 foot of paracord. If you have 100 foot, you will be asked to cut 30 foot off of that 100-foot roll. So only bring 30 foot. Next, you're going to need 30 foot of 1-inch tubular webbing. Now, there is some confusion on this. Tubular webbing, whenever you get it, you will be able to spread. You can see how I can kind of pull it apart like that. You will be able to spread this apart, and it's basically a tube, just like the name says, okay? This is for load-bearing stuff. Don't bring just a piece of webbing that is not tubular, okay? Because if you end up, making hammocks or whatever you're doing with the tubular webbing, if you're putting a lot of weight on it, the tubular webbing is made for load-bearing stuff, okay? So bring 30 foot of the tubular nylon webbing. You can find them on Amazon in rolls of like 30 or 40 foot, and they're not very expensive. But I want to emphasize, again, make sure this is a tubular nylon webbing. If it does not say tubular, then don't buy it. You're also going to need to bring a woodsman's pantry, okay? These are sold on Self-Reliance Outfitters again. These have 5 or 6 nice big tins on the inside that you will be putting food inside of. This is how you guys are going to carry your food for the weekend. So bring a woodsman's pantry. Don't bring the woodsman's pantry plus. It's a little bit big for this class. You're just going to need the woodsman's pantry. Okay, for shelter, you're going to need either a 10 by 10 oilcloth tarp or a 10 by 12 canvas tarp. Do not bring an 8 by 8. Do not bring a 9 by 9. Don't bring anything under a 10 by 10. I recommend the 10 by 10 Tent Smith's tarp or the Bushcraft Spain tarp, okay? Just make sure that you don't bring anything smaller than that, because there are certain shelter setups we do that require you to have a 10 by 10 or bigger as far as the tarp goes. So 10 by 10 oilskin tarp. You're going to need to bring 2 6 mil 55 gallon drum liners. If any of you guys watching this took the basic class, you know exactly what these are. So just bring 2 of these 6 mil 55 gallon drum liners. You're also going to need to bring 1 queen size wool blanket. I have everything laid out underneath of it. This is the Pathfinder blanket. You're not allowed to bring 2 twin size wool blankets. You can only bring 1 queen sized wool blanket. Okay. So that's shelter. Next up, we have a compass with a sighting mirror. I recommend Sunto MC2 is what we all recommend here. It's got, of course, the sighting mirror, magnifying lens, the movable bezel ring, and then you're able to adjust for declination on the back, which you will be using a lot during the class. Along with that, you're also going to have a set of pacing beads. This is so you can track distance whenever you're using map and compass. Along with that, you're also going to need a map protractor scale. Okay, and I'll give you guys a little bit of a close-up on this, but this is a 1 in 10,000th scale. This is the Pathfinder protractor. I don't recommend any other protractor other than this one, because if everyone has the same protractor, we're all on the same page. So get the Pathfinder protractor. Don't bring any other protractor to the class. You're also going to need to bring 1 3x3 piece of cotton material. I recommend a schmog, and then you're also going to need to bring just a normal schmog, okay? So I just recommend picking up 2 schmogs or 1 schmog and then a piece of 3x3 heavy cotton material, but I always just tell people just bring 2 of these. And along with that, you're going to need a sail needle. Next up, you're going to need a headlamp with spare batteries. So bring a couple extra sets of batteries. If your headlamp is rechargeable, we do allow you to bring a small brick to the class with you. That way you can use it to charge your headlamp. So if you have a rechargeable headlamp like this Pathfinder headlamp, we do allow charging bricks just in case you need to charge your headlamp while you are, or during the class. So, but if you don't have a rechargeable headlamp, just bring a couple extra sets of spare batteries. Next up, you have your journal or all-weather notebook. I recommend a Ride in the Rain all-weather notebook. And you also need to bring couple pencils with this and some all-weather pens with this, because during the class when you're doing a lot of nav stuff, you're going to have this notebook in order to keep track of this stuff, and also of course write notes down. And then something else you're going to need some sort of haversack. This one right here is the Pathfinder haversack. I've had it for 10 or 12 years now, but bring some sort of haversack, because there are certain projects in the class to where you're going to want to put the items that you need to get to the quickest inside of your haversack. So bring some sort of haversack. So something else you're going to need to bring along with this gear list is a 3-day Ohio fishing license. You can actually pick one of those up either before the class, or you could pick it up at the meeting spot, which is just at a gas station outside of Wellston. You can also pick one up there. You also need to bring a standard watch that is non-GPS, okay? So just your normal watch that has the hour hand and the minute hand on it. All right, so along with this equipment list that we have already went over, you also need to bring any type of personal hygiene items with you. You also need to bring any type of prescribed medications. When you get to the school, you need to let an instructor know exactly what that prescribed medication is and why you are taking it. Hopefully this video answers everyone's questions about what exactly they need to bring to an intermediate class, because like I said, there have been a couple of changes made. So I'm Jake Trent with the Pathfinder School. Hopefully we see you at a class here one day. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.